Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to MangaPod. We are a weekly podcast, which y'all get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots and lots of spoilers. This week, we aren't talking one, though. We're doing 4. It is our annual MangaPodluck, where we each pick a completed short, one-shot or very short manga, and then we discuss them all. I'm Erin of Happily Erin, and with me are my 3 lovely co-hosts. That's a very big announcement that we have. We've officially added a new third co-host.
She's not just our social media manager, guys.
No, she's been promoted.
I did such a great job that I got officially promoted so quickly. I got
She
this,
just
guys.
crushed it.
Nailed.
For sure.
Love it. So excited. We're so stoked about it. You always fit so well perfectly with us. And so love it. So she
Also, someone immediately got it correct because we were like, "Oh, big announcement!" And then immediately they got it, and they're like, "Moika's joining," and it was just like, "Well, I'm not gonna let you win, so we're gonna announce that I'm gonna do social media." And then I was like, "Well, now that I've said that,
I was gonna say, I think it was Avi who's in chat right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job, Bobby.
Good job, Bobby.
You ruined it.
Amazing.
Love it. But yeah, I'm Erin at Happily Erin. Let's have everyone else go around and introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm Dodger of Happily Dex Bonus Dodger. I'm very excited that we decided to do MangaPodluck again because it was really fun last time. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou, and I really don't do anything on the internet, but I'm here and I'm happy. And yeah, I love MangaPodluck. It's always the best.
It
Like,
is
I have
so
so much
good.
fun with this one.
Yeah.
I'm really blurry for a second. Okay, we're cool.
Oh, I thought you meant personally, in real life.
I mean, I am
I'm just a little blurry.
yeah,
Just a little
okay.
blurry right now.
Okay.
yeah, just a bit, but it's okay.
Okay. Hello, I'm Happily Moika of Mega Moika. Yeah. I'm so excited to do my first manga potluck.
Yay!
So excited.
Yeah, this
All
is
of these
our
are really fun.
third one. I think it's our third one.
It is.
Is
a
it?
third
I
one.
thought it was
Yeah.
only our second.
No, because
what?
we did,
We've done 3?
Yeah.
I think you did one 2017.
Yeah.
What?
We did our first one. We all picked ones that we were like, these were, because the first time we did it, we all picked one just that we had not ever heard of. We just picked it, I'm pretty sure, right? Or did you pick one that we'd heard of before?
Oh, I picked every year.
He
I've
picked
picked.
Yamcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. You
every
did
year
Yamcha.
I've picked one that I've heard of, but I haven't read.
Yes,
So the
that's
first
it.
year I picked Reborn as Yamcha. The second year I picked the Hisoka manga.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I picked last year. I remember I did not like it. I struck out. I feel like, didn't I? Did I dislike it?
I
don't remember.
I chose the one that was about a demon, and it turned out to be really sad. You guys remember that?
Yes.
The one. Oh my gosh.
I
was like,
remember
this is
enjoying
gonna
reading
be
everything
so
we picked.
stupid. I love it. And then at the end, I was crying. I was so mad about it.
Wasn't it there was the one about the bear. There was the bear one. Hang on. You know what? Gonna go to happilyerin.youtube.com.
Oh, there you go.
We're gonna look this up. Because
While
I'm
she's
so-
looking this up,
Shh.
just. Oh, okay.
So-
never
no,
mind.
not you. I was talking to myself. My autoplay went.
I was like, oh shit, we can just sit here. That's fine. While she's looking that up, yeah, this just so you all know, again this year, we went pretty much sight unseen with these. I don't know about Lou, if Lou had already heard of the one that he chose again.
This one I knew that it was that Murata had done something.
Mm.
So that's the extent of my knowledge. So I'm like, all right, what
Gotcha.
did he do this year?
And
there
I
we go.
believe the rest of us, once again, just chose a one-shot or short manga based on. This sounds silly. So, yeah, none of us had read these ahead of time. None of us knew what to expect. We were going entirely off of brief summaries and the front picture, which is always fun, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have never joined us for MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the mangas that we read. Each host will read theirs that they chose, the description for it. We usually do please don't post any spoilers once we get to spoiler section, but we have read all of this. So you guys, this is the safest you're going to be once we get to spoiler section. It's the safest you'll ever be. We ask that nobody post any spoilers in chat until we get to spoiler section, though. So we'll give you our spoiler-free summary and then our spoiler-free recommendations, then jump to spoiler section. So let's go around. Moika, do you mind going first? Reading yours
Yeah,
first?
I can read mine. Yeah, mine is called Giant Spider and Me, a Post-Apocalyptic Tale. Young girl named Nagi and a giant spider make an unusual pair in this post-apocalyptic story, but living in a mountain is lonely if they've managed to find each other. Join them in their strangely sweet domestic bliss as they spend their time sharing tea and throwing picnics, proving that love and delicious food can bring together even the most unlikely of friends.
Yes.
Adorable.
So Giant, Spider, and Me.
Mm-hmm. Are we reading all of the summaries, or are we reading one summary and then saying how we felt and then reading a summary?
Oh, let's do that. That's smart.
Yeah, I think
that's a smart way to go about it. It's better than mine.
I feel like that's what we've done in the past.
Yeah, that is what we've done. I was just so excited to read mine that I was like, oh. It's not the case at all.
Yeah, so spoiler-free recommendations for Giant Spider and Me.
So cute.
Read it.
I loved it.
It's really good.
So cute. It's so good.
It cleaned my skin.
My crops are flourishing.
It's pure.
Everything's good.
It's great. I really like it a lot.
So cute.
It's 3 volumes. This is the longest one that we read, but it flew by. It was so cute.
Yeah, it's real fast. It's very slice of life. It reminds me a lot of the one about the dad and the daughter who cooked together.
Yes.
Sweetness and Lightning.
Sweetness and Lightning. Yeah, that's what it reminded me a lot of. So if you enjoy slice of life, Sweetness and Lightning-esque stuff, this is one you should check out. And it won't take you very long. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Nessa and Lightning.
Yeah.
What?
Sweetness and Spider.
Sweetness and Spiders.
Sweetness Spider.
It sounds terrifying, but it's fucking good. This manga's so good.
Absolutely recommend it. It's just, it's cute. It's wholesome. It has cooking. What else could you ask for?
Agreed. And found family.
And found family.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So we all recommend Giant Spider and Me.
Yeah. So next is Miam Miam. Don't actually know. That's how I pronounce it. How do you guys pronounce him?
Miam Miam.
Yum yum.
Yum yum
Miam
yum.
Miam.
Like a squirrel eating nuts. Yum yum.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yum,
yum
yum.
yum 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 yum.
Miam Miam Miam.
Yeah.
Yum, yum. Okay. The world is in an uproar over the discovery of a stone tablet thought to have been created 500 years ago. The stone contains predictions of major incidents that happened worldwide in the last 500 years. All of its prophecies had already come true. There's only one prophecy recorded on the stone that pertains to the future ahead, that the world will end in a year's time, and only those who believe in a god drawn on the stone will fall into salvation. The name of this god is Miam Miam. I will add, this is chapter 8 of 35 of a webcomic called 2012. It's a collection of one-shot webcomics related to the supposed end of the world in 2012.
Oh,
which
interesting.
I didn't know. I looked at the picture and I was like, look at Miam Miam. It's weird.
Yeah.
I want to do weird.
And it was totally fine as a standalone. I didn't feel like I was like,
oh yeah, you don't feel like you're taking. Yeah. So let's do
really short.
recommendation.
Yeah. So spoiler-free recommendations. I think it did a good job of telling like an unsettling story in a really short package. Yeah, I was I was invested in what was gonna happen at the end for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was expecting more weirdness, like just to be like even more weird. And there was some stuff on it. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything. I think it's very.
Do you recommend it, Aaron?
Yeah. Do you recommend it? Yes. Or no?
Are you okay?
I think
Did
she.
we kill her?
I think we broke her. I think Myum-Myum got to her. I think that's what it
Miam
is.
Miam got her.
I guess I'll go next. I didn't like it. I think like it definitely. I agree with Dodger that it tells an unsettling story. I get what it was going for. I don't think it's worth anyone's time. So now you can skip this one.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's fair. I'm like half and half. I think it would depend on what. If I knew someone was like, I want something a little like psychological, then I would definitely recommend it because it's a super quick read. Anyone else? Yeah, anyone else? I don't think I'd be like, nah, you just go ahead read Giant Spider and Me. You're good.
Yeah,
don't worry about
I'd be like,
it.
I got 3 other manga for you to read. Yeah, I'm the half and half too.
Yeah, I would agree with Aaron that in a perfect world, I would have wanted there to be more going on, but it was extremely short. It was really just like quick linear.
Yeah, it followed that.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Science versus magic.
All right, so the world is split into 2 very different kingdoms: the Magic Kingdom and the Science Nation. They have gone to war more than once in the past, but those days are long behind them. Nowadays, they maintain peaceful relations, each state occupying themselves with developing their unique culture. Once every 3 years, they hold an international mixed martial arts competition in what is essentially a huge festival. The best fighters of the 2 nations compete in a grand sparring match for glory and bragging rights. So my spoiler-free recommendation for this one, I mean the action scene, which is about half of what you read, it's okay. On a whole, there, like I kind of wish that it would have been just a lead up to the fight or just a fight. You get me? Like I wanted it. I feel like I got 2 incomplete stories like mashed together, as opposed to like one fully fleshed out experience. And the fight itself, I wasn't interested in the choreography of the fight. The art was good, but yeah, I expected more from Murata. And I think part of that is just like there wasn't enough story-wise to go off of what to do with the characters. So I would say I would love for this to maybe get picked up and turned or fleshed out into a series. Like this could be like this as a one shot that leads into a solid chapter 1 and builds into a long form shonen. I think that would be awesome. But in and of itself, I really don't necessarily recommend it. There are better things that Murata's drawn that you can pick up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think it definitely felt like a one shot that's hoping to become a series, but it just didn't have, like Lou said, it was 2 incomplete pieces of this puzzle that you're like, all right, I got this end and this end, but there's the substance inside of it is not, it's totally missing. Like the 2 main characters were very generic. I was like, I don't remember their names, but I've seen them 1,000 times in other, like in One Punch Man even. And so, so I was like kind of bored during it too. And like the action, even the action was boring. Like it just didn't have any personality to it at all. So I think it's one that I agree that there's other stuff, especially shown in one shots, that you could spend more time, like a better time reading. So I don't know. Maybe go check it out if you like Murata's artwork, though.
It took me from the time that I said, "Oh, it's on the Viz app," to okay, I'm ready. What was that, like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another one that just it's
Nice.
60 pages, but it took no time at all to read. But yeah, it's trying to tell something that needed more substance and just didn't have the time to put it in there. We're spoiled because all of us like, shonen battle stuff. So all of us expect, a fight to drag on long enough that you're really invested. And there just wasn't the time to do that. And there also wasn't the time to like get you to really care about what was happening, for lack of to not spoil everything that's going on in it. But yeah. So yeah, it was all right. But I agree. It needed to be longer.
Yeah. Well, I'll just save it for later. If you like really pretty art, which Murata has, from that basis, I would definitely recommend it. Otherwise, story-wise, it's kind of, I think if things had been different, it could have been a faster read, which then I would definitely recommend it. Otherwise, no, I wouldn't. Because this one, the art is by Murata, but the story's done by someone else. So I think, yeah, this one definitely felt like it was, oh man, like the art, solid artist. Hopefully this gets picked up because of that. So it's kind of, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
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 Sorry.
No, you go.
Are we ready for the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine was Dear Sir Hannibal. It's the one that made a lot of people say, "Oh, someone picked a hentai." It's not a hentai. Here's the summary. Rento is a personification of a supernatural being descended from a family of Ents. One day, his arm gets torn off trying to save a cat from a tree, and while he's looking for it, he crosses a girl, Saya, who finds his lost arm. Saya is Rento's crush, and actually a fellow personification, descended from a family of ghouls, whose main characteristic is an appetite for humanoid meat. Can romance blossom between these two supernatural beings? Slight discomfort advised, but don't worry, he's a plant, so he can regenerate his body parts.
Like my favorite.
I love that that's the way the summary ends.
I also like the blossom pun in there.
Yeah, can love blossom.
I had a lot of fun with this one.
I actually really liked it.
I was thoroughly enjoyed it and did not regret reading it. And there was, I don't know, it felt refreshing in some way, the consensualness between the two main characters. So I recommend it. It is not hentai. There is not. There are suggestive things that happen, some suggestive art and suggestive poses and things like that. But I surprisingly really liked it.
Yeah, I kept waiting for it to take a turn where I was like, now I don't feel good.
Yeah.
But actually the entire thing, there was like a weird, considering what it was about, there was a weird wholesomeness to it. Yeah, so I actually thought it was really fun too. I wound up really liking it.
Yeah, I think I would recommend it. Yeah, I definitely would recommend it because I just thought, I don't know, there are moments where I just like, this is so bizarre that it's really funny. And then, then there were like the little wholesome moments where I was just like, oh, that's cute. Even though,
Yeah.
Yep, we all know exactly what you're.
Have you guys ever seen or read Pupa?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course, I say.
Of course.
That incestual manga is the most obvious thing everyone should have read by now.
So,
Piece of trash.
like, knowing, like, this is not incest, but like the eating scenes kind of reminded me of Pupa. But but this was actually good. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Recommend. Read the shit. It's like, for what it is, I think it does a really fucking good job. It's not like super smutty or anything. The art's pretty decent. And yeah, like, you know, he grows back and it's fine. I kind of wish like, to lighten the experience, we would have had some jokes made about like him snapping in places randomly. Like, I feel like that would have just like lightened the tone just a little bit more. So it's not just like you know, teen melodrama of, oh, this girl's cute and oh, she wants to eat me.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
And now and then stuff.
Yes or no? Yes.
I'm sorry, but yeah, read the shit, okay? All right, it's fine.
Yes or no, guy?
Okay.
Yes or no?
I mean that's wasn't what I just said like in the summary. I think I'm safe.
No rotten bacon butts. I think you're good.
All right, cool.
Cool. All right, so there are the summaries for the 4 mangas we're going to be discussing for MangaPodluck this year. If any of them sound like something you do not want to be spoiled for, now's the time to take your leave. Go read them, come back and watch. You can honestly probably go and read each one and be back by the time we're done talking about. Like, they're all just, they're so fast. But otherwise, the VOD of this will go up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/happily-Aaron. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into spoiler section. We're going to be doing Giant Spider and Me first. So here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Assa's God.
Assa's
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
This one was so cute.
This,
Oh my god. I didn't expect to get, I think I messaged you guys with this exact statement, but I didn't expect to get so invested in this girl and her spider and whether or not the people in the town were ever going to accept them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just, it really caught me off guard. And also going into it, I didn't expect as much food to happen. I didn't know it was going to be a half food manga.
Same.
Yeah, I thought so. Originally, when I picked it, which I could have said this earlier, but yeah, when I picked it, I was just like, I really like the art style. It looks cute, but the art style is what made me want to pick it. But it's just like super watercolory, and I'm a sucker for it. So
yeah,
I was not disappointed with this one. It was just
Did
so wholesome.
Did you guys expect that there were going to be other people?
No. And that's what
I did not at all.
That's what I was kind of like wanting to talk about. So like the impression that I got from like the first chapter and the summary was, okay, well, it's just going to be this girl by herself and this giant spider, and that's fine. You know, as I'm reading through it, I was like, all right, so this is just going to be her and her struggles with living on her own, and you know, finally finding someone to keep her company, and that's kind of what we got. But like, I don't know, like, I feel like the fact that she's deciding to live separate from a society, but not necessarily like she's rejected from it, I feel like that kind of takes away a little bit of the possible emotional impact, but not much. Like it's not like I think any less of the manga for going this route.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like because sorry, Moika, go for it.
No. Oh no, I was just gonna say I didn't actually. I think I ended up liking it more just because I wasn't expecting it, or I wasn't expecting other people, and then it just sort of, for me, I really liked the whole like theme of you don't have like family doesn't have to be blood related. You like it's something that you yourself can build, which for me it was just like, oh
yeah,
I just want to protect these two. I'm glad they found others.
I know. Yeah. I was just gonna say them establishing at the beginning like that her dad left at some point and she was hearing from him, but now she doesn't. I expected that to be that drama, at least at the end, was going to be like a major point. And for some reason, I kind of like that we don't know if he's still alive or not. We didn't like focus too much on that. Like the whole manga was about moving forward. That was the entire theme, and we didn't have moments really that moved far back. Like it was all about just like pressing forward and like finding happiness. And I thought that was just so nice.
Yeah, I agree with that too, because I was definitely expecting the dad to show up again at some point, because that's how it is in these manga all the time, where the dad or the parent is like off backpacking, being a photographer.
Right.
They'll just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm the dad," and it's like, no, you're an irresponsible piece of poo.
Go away.
Go away. I don't care how many
away.
pictures you've taken. Get out of here.
See, for like half a second, I'm like, what if the dad is the spider?
Oh my god, I also thought that for a half second.
That's like the other one we read. There's never mind.
Yeah, totally.
I
oh no. Go, ma'am.
No, I was gonna say, talking about like dads, the Becca's dad like showed up, like he was barely relevant. The rest, I feel like he was there to introduce Becca, and then he was
literally
like, all right, bye.
Which
I'm
Becca
gonna-
is a queen, so I'm
Yeah,
delighted
she's
she was there.
The little tsundere
yeah.
queen is great. But
When he showed up again, like, "Hi, girls," I was like, "Who is?" Oh, right, Becca has a living father.
That actually returns.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved the cafe owner carpenter guy. He was totally different from what I expected to. Everybody was really different from what I thought they were going to be. Yeah, the manga like subverted my expectations quite a few times, which was delightful.
Yeah, and like with him, I expected so much more angst and like closed offness.
Yes.
And like the manga had a shorter, it was confined to 3 volumes, which I think was definitely a choice on the mangaka's part to do. And so it was nice because we didn't have that long, drawn out drama where it's like, oh, what is his past about? Oh, he can't share it. And instead it's like, all right, I'll fix your window for you, and then when I'm done with the window, I'll tell you. And then he does.
It's
so
like, oh,
nice.
okay, let's eat food.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that they did actual like food recipes, and they basically like they showed you how to make them essentially, which now I'm just like, I kind of want an anime adaptation, even if it's like 10 episodes. It like I could just see it being like oh, what's it called? It's the Fate one, but it's all they do is cook, and it's like in a watercolory style, even the animation.
I know which one you're talking about.
Like
Yeah,
something
like-
with the Emias.
Yeah,
Today's menu for the
Emiya's-
Emiya family. There we go.
Yeah, I want
That show's really good. I really love that.
Yeah, it's really good, which is
Yeah.
why I'm like, oh, I would love if they did it with this one, because I want to see the spider like animated and just
Right.
Yeah.
More
I would
cooking
also love to see this one
shows.
animated.
Can I also, something I really appreciated about it was how they used the they pronoun for Asa. I really I thought that was a really nice touch, because you don't find out, and it doesn't matter.
How would anybody
either.
be able to tell?
No one would be able to tell, and it doesn't matter. And they consistently, every single person uses they, and I was like, yes, I love that. I love that touch.
Yeah.
It was just so wholesome. I loved
It
it.
was so cute.
And
So
it's
cute.
like one of those, a lot of times with the slice of life stuff, we've said this before, when you read like a big old chunk of it, depending on what kind it is, it can get so repetitive over and over, especially if it's more of a comedy. But this one, it didn't really feel like every chapter was the exact same. Like it felt like the pace of it, like things were constantly moving forward. Nothing really felt like a one off, like a one shot. Everything, like Dodger was saying earlier, everything's about moving forward, and that's how each chapter was too. It was moving it forward, which I thought was a nice steady pace for the whole thing.
I also liked how it ended, which was like kind of an open-ended
Mm-hmm.
way of like finishing it, which I was just like, oh, that's like, it's sweet because it's just like, I mean, again, they're just gonna keep moving forward with their lives, even if technically we don't get to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
was just like, oh, it fits so well, it's so
I'm just-
lovely.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of glad it didn't go the route of just like in the last chapter, last couple panels, Asa eats her.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That would have made me so sad.
That would have been the saddest. Well, yeah, we had a couple of different chapters where it was definitely written away to make you believe that maybe maybe the manga was going to take a turn, right? There was
Yeah.
the chicken
Mhm.
one, which I was
Yeah.
still like, Asa didn't eat the chickens.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But there was still a little part of me that was like, but what if?
Oh, what if you did?
And then the molting one, right? The molting
Yeah.
one was another one where they were like, there's something wrong with Asa. And I was like, what's wrong? What is it? Oh,
Yeah.
they're molting.
I thought they were gonna die.
Me too.
my
I was like
God.
reading and I was just like, oh, please don't do this to
It's
me.
a baby.
Don't do it.
It's so sad.
Let's talk about art real quick, and then we'll jump into the next one.
Yeah.
So, what were your guys' thoughts about the art?
I loved
I liked it.
And
Yeah,
then
super cute.
watercolory. Just
Yeah.
so cute. So
Mhm.
I love it.
And everybody was really like, you always knew who everybody was. Like even
Mhm.
between Becca and the main girl that I can't remember the name of. Nagi. Even between the two of them, they had completely different faces and designs. Like
Mhm.
I loved the designs of all the characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did too. And I liked how clean everything was. Like it all was very pleasant. It was really nice to look at. Everything was fluid. The food looked great. So I really liked the art too. I thought it was good.
Yeah, the backgrounds are also pretty great, like especially in the forest.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was really like enjoyable to look at. So I have no critiques about the art at all.
Name. So
And Asa's
I-
design was so perfectly silly.
so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could definitely tell that the mangaka like did their research into like different ways spiders looked and then kind of mishmashed them
Yeah.
to create this very adorable spider that you would not think you'd get attached to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate spiders. So I was like, oh no, a manga about a big old spider. But I loved Asa. It's like so precious.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I was like, I can deal with this spider. I wouldn't mind cuddling with this spider.
Mm.
Not that spiders are bad. Spiders are
I
really
like that
good.
you looked back at the dogs like they were going to be jealous. I would cuddle this spider. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Derp.
It's okay.
Apparently, like, and there was that one panel where she's like, "Oh, their bottom is so soft."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Let
she
me
talked
cuddle your bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah, she talked about how Asa was really warm,
Yeah.
Mm.
I was like, oh,
which is just like, oh.
All of the frames that were like Nagi and Becca and Asa in bed sleeping. I don't know why. It just always made me go, oh.
so sweet.
Asa's so big, but just like this big fluffy spider next to them.
So
There was just something really
It was
cute
like-
about it.
It was the one, the night where Becca stayed the night.
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny to me because Asa got really jealous that Becca was like taking their spot.
Yeah.
And it was just like them staring at both of them and then just a little like angry mark.
Yeah,
above
it was
Asa's
so
head.
cute. It was so cute.
So cute.
I totally forgot that I wanted to bring this up, but the old man who had the change of heart,
Yeah.
The hunter,
the antagonist of the story, the hunter, when he gets like, I did really like that he at the end was somebody who was like, you just got to do what you got to do, like be cheerful or feel how you got to feel so you don't regret it. I was like, oh, Mr. Hunter, what a change of heart.
You changed.
Yeah.
You were such an ass.
Such a dick.
Yeah. I thought maybe he wasn't it wouldn't suit the tone of the manga, but I thought maybe it wasn't gonna ever work out with his character because of like them having that whole conversation and then Carpenter Boy coming out and going, I see you've decided to hold on to your prejudices. I was like, yikes.
Damn. All right.
Called out.
Shots fired.
But yeah, super cute.
Cool. Do we want to do final like ratings on these?
Sure. Let's do it.
So are you guys going to rate Giant Spider and Me?
I'll go first. This is an 8.5 out of 10. I genuinely enjoyed it. Great story, great art. I wish there was more of it. Like, if there was more of it at this quality, I probably would have rated it higher. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 9. I really, really liked it. I liked all of the characters. I thought it was so sweet. And yeah, if there was more, I would read it in a heartbeat. But I think that the way that it was compacted into 3 volumes was done really well. It didn't feel rushed and it didn't feel slow. It was nice.
Yeah, from me, it's gonna be a 9 out of 10. I like the characters. I love the art. It was just everything is a nice little wholesome package.
I agree. 9 out of 10 for me too. I loved how sweet it was. I loved the pacing. I liked the combination of genres that it kind of put together, and the characters were just so sweet. And I thought it was compact and like perfect. I really enjoyed it. It's probably top out of what we read. It's probably number 1 for me. Though we'll go and organize them at the end, but just really good. It's great. So, cool. So that wraps our discussion of Giant Spider and Me. We're gonna jump into Miam Miam.
Miam Miam.
Miam Miam Miam.
Miam Miam.
Miam 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 Miam. All right, guys. What are you expecting before going into Miam Miam?
I thought we would see more Miam Miam.
Agreed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Where I wanted fucking Miam Miam. And I got
speak to us.
Yes. I wanted Poon Poon level weird. That's what the image gave me the feeling of. Like, that's why I picked it. Like
the more religious sections of Poon Poon.
Yeah. And the cover photo, like the description of it, and then also the cover photo, like the picture of Miam Miam. I was like, this looks like something that could have been out of like a Poon Poon-esque story.
Totally.
And I also love manhwa, and there's just like a lot of very vividly done storytelling within that. And so I wanted more Miam Miam, and wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
I get that by having it be so straightforward, number 1, it could be super short that way. But also number 2, by the end, you still like weren't sure, like before the final like boot drop, right?
Yeah.
You weren't super sure like what was going on. Which I liked. It was just banal enough that I was like, is this gonna wind up being a thing? I think I'll be disappointed if it actually is a thing. But at the same time, then what's the whole point of it? And that's why I think I was happy with the end being like nothing happened. It must have been Miam Miam, right?
Yes.
Miam Miam must have saved all of us. And this guy, the last bastion, who was like, I don't believe in Miam Miam, like having him just realize I'm doomed to live in a world where everyone believes in Miam Miam.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I kind of really liked that. It was the only way that it could have an ending of probably isn't a Miam Miam, guys. Like, it's not a thing. It's not real. It's just that out of fear, everyone clung to it, you know?
Yeah.
My issue with it, because I didn't recommend it when we were doing a spoiler-free recommendations. Like, you know that caricature of the smug atheist that looks down on like that caricature is what this manga is.
Yeah.
for a significant
You
portion
follow
of it.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one thing to like not believe. That's fine. This guy is just kind of an ass about it.
Mm-hmm.
For
And
sure.
I just didn't enjoy reading like him just, I basically just calling everyone stupid for and basically just being marks for whatever the scam, the Myum-Myum scam was.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Sorry.
Which yeah, I don't know. It's just something about reading that. It's like I feel like it could have been done better, where the skepticism that the main character had could have been conveyed without actively working to paint him to be like an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's it. That really was my critique. Is just I just did not enjoy my time with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like having so much of the manhwa be filled with him like telling everybody in his life that they're idiots over and over again. Yeah.
It was the same way over, and it was just the him over and over. Like every single person, he had so many people surrounding him, and then it was like literally every single person. And I think what was more interesting than him calling people stupid was the people around him, how they got into Myum-Myum, like what their breaking point was to go to Myum-Myum. And so they were way more interesting than that guy, which I think might have been intentional. I'm not 100% sure. But it also so much felt so on the nose as a critique of religion.
Sure.
It was like, there were times where I'm going, all right, I don't know if this is just being like, all right, I don't have to work very hard at telling this. Like, because it's literally like, I have so many examples to go off of telling like how Myum-Myum goes. Or if they wanted to be really deep with it. But yeah, it felt there was no subtleties with what they were critiquing and talking about in terms of religion and churches and stuff like that.
I honestly, I think that I would have enjoyed it way more, even as it is, if we had more. If the guy had ever even once thought to himself, maybe I'm wrong, but he didn't ever. Like, even though he's surrounded by people who are like, this is the only way to save yourself, he apparently just has a gut of steel and was like, no, I'm right. And I was like, you're not an interesting character. There's nothing going on with you. You're just static. Like, that's your whole job, is to just be the static skeptic. And so to have him be the main character was just not interesting. Yeah.
I agree. I really liked how it ended, because it's like, it also, even though it's like, obviously it's like a Korean webtoon, it's just very reminiscent of like every year you always hear like, oh, it's the end of the world is coming, blah 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 blah, and then when it gets to it, obviously we're still here, and so it's like the cycle just keeps happening. So it was like, I don't know, it was really nostalgic for me, and such a short read that I found it really interesting. And it made me wish that, like, I know it's like a one shot, so I wish they'd go back and like clean it up and make the main guy not as much of an asshole.
I just thought of a way to make it better.
Okay, hit me.
What if the apocalypse that happens in this manga is what creates the world of Giant Spider and Me?
Oh, here we go.
Done. Miam Miam behind it all along. Miam Miam wants you to God.
Wait, so are the people that are left on Earth Myum-Myum followers or not Myum-Myum followers?
I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
That's the philosophical question. Yeah. That's the question the manga brings.
Here's your homework, everybody.
Yeah. Which do you think and why? 30-page essay. Please.
How did you guys feel about the art? I wasn't a fan.
No.
It was okay.
It's first time getting experience doing a webcomic. art, which it has a lot of potential for sure. But there wasn't a whole lot going on at all. There was no, and like something that like there's so many Korean webcomics that even though they're utilizing the scrawling, where there is a lot of like white space in between each panels, because it's very non-traditional. Like if you've never read a Korean webcomic before, they go like scroll. It's a scroll each page. And so you're going down continuously. And so it's like a continuous scroll, like rolling down. So there's not a specific page break anywhere. So it's just going. And so there's space in between panels and they can be utilized very interesting. This one wasn't so much the case. Like it was everything. It felt like just the same panels and the same placement over and over and over again. Yeah. So it just wasn't, I was very underwhelmed by the art.
I also was not a fan.
Yeah.
In any capacity. And the thing is, after I finished it, I went on the blog that was linked at the bottom of the reading, and like the person who drew this is actually pretty good now. So like this was clearly an early work, and they've clearly improved significantly. So
Curry Gome.
Good on them. Yes.
Curry Gome.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I liked about the art was Miam Miam. I did like the little character.
Miam Miam was good. He just didn't show up enough.
No.
Yeah, that was my problem. I wanted more of him. But it was like this one definitely felt like it was like their first time doing a comic, and then just kind of like messing around with it just to see the flow of how it works.
Yeah.
I'm glad they improved.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do ratings.
2 out of 10. Like
that's higher than I thought you were gonna give it.
Like, all right, I like the concept of everyone is suddenly absorbed into this religion. Like conceptually, the premise super interesting. I think what would have made for a better protagonist would be someone who is like a little bit of a skeptic, but that the religion is ruining the people around them in terms of like, oh, they have to offer everything and then they go into poverty and things like something more than just like, oh, well, you know, life is the same. We're good. You know, like an actual like to give some to make the religion itself a threat. Yeah. I think that would have made it interesting. But the premise aside, everything else was just shit. So like I said, I don't recommend this. There are many other things I'd recommend above this one. If you want like an unsettling psychological experience that may or may not like lead to like the world ending, read Uzumaki, read anything by Junji Ito. Just I would skip this.
That's fair. I think I would give it a 6 out of 10, just because on my scale, it's like, it's okay. It's such a quick read that it's just like, the way I recommend stuff is really personalized to the person I'm giving it to usually. So it's like, it's okay. If you're wanting something a little bit psychological, like this could be a quick read. Otherwise, for me, a 7 is like, it's like good. So 5, 6 is just like, it's okay.
Yeah. That's about where I was landing, was like between a 5 and a 6 too. Because it is so quick. I did enjoy like Dodger's bringing up about like the ending with the character. But I think there's just a lot of other stuff that you could read that is a lot more unsettling and like is kind of trying to go for the psychological and weirdness that this one I think might have wanted to be trying to go for. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There was a lot of times where or not a lot, but after I finished reading it, I was like, man, I could have done the stalker one or my balls. I was like, why did I go with the weird and it wasn't even weird? I wanted to go, like, I was torn between doing really weird and my balls, and it
Could have done your balls.
I could have done the balls. I could
disappointed.
have done the balls. I know. So
Sad.
based on that, 5, 6 out of 10. Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 4 or 5. Because yeah, it was super, super short. Like, you blink and you're done. But there just needed to be more to it. And it's hard to explain what, because they talk in the manga about how the religion is harmless because it only costs you $10, right? Like things like that were deliberate elements. Like the religion seeming harmless was a deliberate element to the manhwa. So there were things that I think just the main character specifically is what really hurt it for me. But overall, it just didn't offer a whole lot. I did like the end, but I definitely wouldn't read it again. And I don't know a scenario in which I would recommend it necessarily. It's not that I feel like I wasted my time. It's just, it was just okay.
Yeah.
It was a read.
It
was a read.
We read it. Cool. So let's jump into science versus magic.
Yeah.
Ready?
Cool.
Okay. Sweet. Thoughts?
What were you guys expecting going into this manga?
I was
Fighting.
expecting great action
Same.
because,
Yes.
I mean, Murata does One Punch Man. One Punch Man looks amazing. I expected, all right, like Murata must have a significant weight on the quality of One Punch Man. So this probably is good. And like this made me realize that it really is one's work. Like all Murata does is clean it up and make it, presentable.
For sure.
Yeah.
So shit, man. Like I expected way more out of this, and I was like, I was legit let down.
I think what you were saying during the spoiler free section is on point for sure. That like the beginning started to frame a story about like the representative of magic and the representative of science, and oh shit, they know each other. Like they've known each other for a really long time. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I thought we were maybe gonna have a story that was about how you could have both. But that wasn't touched on at all. No. There's a magic kingdom and the science kingdom, Dodger. Don't be silly. And then and then it was just kind of like, yeah, we know each other. Anyway, don't go easy on me. And then they were fighting.
Yeah.
But then the fight felt like it ended so quick. And the action itself, the moments that were like, welcome to my new secret technique. Like it wasn't super exciting.
Like the science guy didn't look like he would be a protagonist or an antagonist. Like he looked like just a character that would be
grunt.
like a low. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he's just like a putty in Power Rangers. He's like a bootleg version of Genos. I was I was not happy with him. Like, all right, if this was to get picked up into a series, I want like the real science representative to be someone with a better design that starts and like creates hostility with the magic boy by killing off this character, because like there was nothing really interesting about the science representative.
But I think I don't know. I think the intention was that you like both of them.
Yeah, so that you don't
And
know
you
who to
wouldn't-
root for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't enough time to develop the characters enough
Yeah.
for me
Yeah,
to
I
care
think
who
it-
won.
I think it was kind of detrimental that they went into so much detail about like the science kingdom and the magic kingdom when they could. I felt like I felt like they could have shortened that and been like, Onigoro, representative of this kingdom that like believes in like science and like augmenting their own bodies, and then moved on to the other kingdom, a little snippet of it, and then gotten into more of fighting.
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I wanted more fighting.
Yeah.
I saw the
same.
like Reita, that's the magic representative. I was just like, oh, he's got the moves. He's ready to like kick butt, and then it went by really quickly.
Am I really without like like none of the power-ups felt important. It's like, oh, okay, he can do this, but I didn't really understand what he could do before, so it doesn't really impact the fact that he can do something more with it. Because like you can't
attack with fire and block with water, Aaron. That's how the Magic Kingdom works.
Oh, of course.
He is the Avatar.
When he was like, here's my new move, and put fire around him, and everyone was like, wow, he surrounded himself with fire. I thought that the implication was he's gonna defend with fire.
Yes.
And everyone was like, ugh. No, it was just, this is a super ultra fire attack. And I was like, oh, well, that's very interesting.
Did anyone else think that the two main characters look like JoJo's characters?
I did not. They reminded me of Yu Yu Hakusho characters.
That's true too. Yeah.
It was like, it was a weird mishmash of like One Punch Man characters and Yu Yu Hakusho characters for me.
Yeah. There was, and like, I think something that was detrimental for this too was bringing in the previous champion or whatever.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because it was like, who are these people? Like, I don't need. They were obviously there to do the sports anime thing where somebody's an outsider, needs every single piece of the game explained to them. They were obviously there to be those character heads. But we didn't know who they are. All they did was distract because you're like, I don't know who you are. And now you're wasting time talking and throwing jabs at one another. And so, I don't know.
It could be what Lou is saying, that this was more of a pitch for like a bigger manga. And thus they wanted to show like we have ideas for other characters. Like there is a world that we've built. But yeah, for a one shot, it was kind of like, okay, well, he showed up for a second.
Yeah, there was like one girl who was like a fangirl of Reita, basically, it felt like. And I was just like, I don't.
That was standing with his master.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she was another magic user. Like,
that's what I thought too. Yeah.
It's just like, no, get to the fight. I want fighting.
I want fighting. I did like the fact that the science dude isn't like the science in that how we think of science with like I mean this is so stereotypical, please don't hate me, but like white lab coats and things like that,
right?
And we get
but it wasn't like a dude who threw a bunch of drones at him or something.
Yeah, it's just like this bulky cyber dude who's like really Genki though, which I did really like the fact that he was Genki and that he left out at Ranky every single, like all the time, like duel, just jumping out at him. There's something about that trope, like that cliche that happens in a lot of manga and a lot of shows where they just like, I challenge you. Some reason I love that. I don't know why. If it's like a ship dynamic or what it is, but I just fucking love it.
Yeah.
So big old props to the manga for that.
I do feel the same as Moeka though. I could have done without all of the asides that were like, if he thinks that worked, he doesn't know Reita at all.
Yeah.
We got that exact phrase from so many people, and I was like, I get it. He's a powerful prodigy boy. I get it. And I hated that in the final version of that was him going, as long as I have my fans, I don't feel any pain. It's like, Jesus, okay.
Shut up. Yeah, you do feel pain.
Literally, a giant robot man just punched you in the arm and broke it. And he's like, I can still use it for my fans. It's like, okay.
Okay,
bro. Do you guys have any other thoughts on it, or do you want to
I hope it gets picked up. That's it. That's the last.
You want to see them take another crack at it?
Yeah, because I feel like something can be made out of this. I feel like because I looked into the person that wrote the manga, and the only other thing they've done is like a very poorly drawn manga called Ultimate Rock Paper Scissors, and like the
20
writing
chapters. Sorry.
It's it looks like shit. It's quirky, and it could be like I've skimmed a bit of it, and it's dumb, but it's enjoyable. So I'm like, all right, this person has some potential, which I think is why they're like Murata's like, oh yeah, shit, let's go ahead and do something like that, because that's
Murata
what happened with
just
one.
loves weirdos.
Yeah. So I'm like,
like what's going on in your brain? Shit, no one gets. I'll draw that.
Yeah.
I'll find a way to get it out to the general public.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, you know, I want this to work. I want to see what they end up doing. You know, or what is this idea fully realized? Because with Murata working on One Punch Man, there was a good amount of the webcomic already out. It wasn't a one shot. So that's I think the fact that they started off as a one shot instead of going directly into a series is what set this back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
well,
those are my thoughts.
What number score would you give it?
If I was to give it a number score, this is a 5 out of 10. Like, the art is good, everything else is not. So, you know.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of Miam Miam for you. No.
Yes. They should work together.
Oh my god.
Miam Miam can represent the Magic Kingdom.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then we get giant spiders.
What if all of our manga are actually all set in the same
They're
timeline?
all in the same universe.
The same universe, all canon within each other.
I love it. I would give it a 6.5. I think. Yeah, I just wanted one shots. I'm sure are so difficult. Yeah. Like you know, anybody who's taken the time to come up with characters in a story has way more than what actually winds up on the page, right? So I think there was potential there, but it all wound up feeling very bland. So if they did this in a more expanded way, for sure, I would check it out. The art was fantastic, of course, because it's Murata, but yeah, it's like a 6.5. It's okay.
Yeah, I think I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. I think this one would be easier to recommend to people. I mean, it'd be easier to explain like what about it might be off-putting compared to like Miam Miam, where it's just like it's a little, I don't know, it's a little hard to describe, like aside from like the character being kind of an asshole, like why I wouldn't would or wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm in about the 6 to 6.5. The art was outstanding, but the rest of it was really bland. I was just kind of like scrolling, not really taking too much of it in because I just wasn't connecting with the world or the characters or the magic system, and it all just seemed very muddled. And I agree with the sentiments that you guys have all had, that if they were to expand it, make it a bigger universe and give it time to breathe and play out naturally, it definitely would, I think, be more interesting and I would enjoy a lot more. But as of now, like as a one shot, it's about a 6 to 6.5 for me.
Yes.
So, cool. You guys have anything else you want to touch on? Otherwise, we'll jump into the last one.
Let's do it.
Good. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Rada was really cute. He was handsome.
I
okay?
know.
I was just like, so disappointed. I wanted more.
Cyberboy was better. Go Science Kingdom.
Yeah.
Listen. Just ship them and you've got best of both worlds.
There you go.
I know. whole new like demographic for you.
Oh my god.
Right
There we
there.
go. We need to write them a letter.
Yeah.
I have a way to make this happen.
Okay, so yeah, what were your guys' expectations for Dear Sir Hannibal?
I expected porn.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, the cover image implies that.
And like the first
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was so, because I read the summary because I made a comment in the Discord about how the last line was really funny to me, and then I forgot the summary, and so when I was reading it, and then the first bit where she's eating him, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with his stomach? Like, it's just like, because he's wood, and so it's just all this chop, and she's taking bites. I'm going, I think she's eating someone, but I don't understand which part she's eating. Is it like the muscle tissue it's showing? But muscle doesn't look like that. But yeah, yes. I did not. I also didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah, it wound up actually being like a pretty cute consensual war story. So
yeah.
Like, we had a tree boy who was like, you know, in love from afar with a girl named Saya in his class, and it turns out she's a ghoul, and up until this point she hasn't craved human flesh like as much, but she's blossoming, I guess, as her mom put it. And I just loved, I don't know why, like, I just loved that Tree Boy was like daydreaming about her eating him, and she was daydreaming about eating Tree Boy. So like in the end it was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're on the same page. This is great. Let's like go to my house and like do that. And it won't be weird. It might be weird.
It might be weird.
It was like this bizarre, like, well done kink negotiation thing.
Seriously.
Like, when has this been done this well? I don't remember. I mean, I don't read a lot of this type of manga, but it's very rare, I feel like, for something to be this like discussed and mutual same page before going into it in any sort of media. And so I thought that was like, I really appreciated that at the end. It was really weird. It was real weird, but it made me feel a little bit better. But I don't know. This is a weird, you feel weird. Not a bad way.
Yeah.
I did love the heart to heart with her mom, where her mom was like, look, when I fell in love with your dad, I just put his picture on a dummy and just bit it when I was feeling horny. And she was like, Mom, I don't want to know this. Like, there's just so many moments in it where it made me laugh. And I liked the art. I just thought it was a story about a not wholesome thing that wound up feeling wholesome.
Yeah. And like the fact that his parents were involved too. I was like, wait, both kids have involved parents. Like, that's also something else that's not ever done. And so the fact that his dad, I thought also with the dad's character design, how all the different creatures look different. So he had like a like the wooden face too, and looked like the bark. And so it was just really, I want this to become a universe, because I would love it to be like My Hero Academia, but there's all sorts of different people. Like there's the ghoul and there's the trunk people, and so I just think it'd be really interesting.
Trunk people.
It'd be really interesting to see what other sorts of people, like creatures, would come out of it, and what dynamics and stories. Even if it's not like a continuation of their story, if it's just a bunch of one-shots in the universe that like shows different people, I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would read. I'd like that, because I would definitely read it. Because basically, like everybody else was saying, it was just it was just so wholesome in the end, that I was just like, oh, they're on the same page. Everybody like gets what they want, and happily ever after.
Yeah.
See, what I like about romance in one shots is that they don't waste time with anything else.
Right.
Like romance in any other iteration of manga, anime, anything, it's always will they, won't they? And then
Yeah.
once they do or they don't, it takes forever for relationships to progress. Like, they were a legit couple by the end of this very short read, and that I can't tell you how refreshing that is.
Mm-hmm.
And they still, even though it was short, they still managed to like imply that they had become friends and had been texting each other and like interacted quite a bit before the whole like, will you eat me?
Yeah.
Like that they still managed to give us a lot in a like short package, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, I enjoyed the progression of their relationship. It was, like Lou said, there was so little time to tell their story, but it still felt more organic than a lot of romances that you see otherwise. It just felt very genuine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the art. What are you guys' thoughts on the art?
I liked it. I thought it was very cute. It was like really cutesy on purpose.
Yeah.
So it kind of juxtaposed the fact that it was about what it was about.
Mm-hmm. And even the like, I thought it was really cute. And even this like suggestive stuff, like it still felt somewhat like tasteful. Like it was never at the expense of the character that was being drawn in that way. And so I really enjoyed the art, the detail, the tones, everything. Like I really like it and thought it fit what was happening really, really well.
Yeah. You know, when we get like a sorry, chat. You know, when we're reading a manga and there's like a really overly detailed panty shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got like a 5 out of 10 shot a couple of times in that way. It was like, it's a little more detail than I think we needed, but that's okay. Like it wasn't so much that I was like, this, you should have just drawn a porn. You should have just made a hentai.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have made this into a hentai, we probably would have gotten like an Ahegao face, or she's just covered in sawdust.
Oh my god.
I'm also wondering about splinters. That's a thought that crossed my mind.
I actually also wondered about splinters while I was reading it. But to be fair, he's many degrees of separation from actual Ents. I think he just grows back, but his body, it doesn't like taste or look like wood, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Kinda, because like in that first panel, the way he was, like his stomach was open and breaking apart. Like, I think that's where it's. I don't know. But yeah, no Sada Sahagao face. So
damn
that's
it.
Good. I mean, if you want to make it happen, and like, fan fiction is a thing.
I got this. There's my next series.
Yeah, next time you're just feeling some writer's block and you got to break through it.
I'm gonna write some Dear Sir Hannibal fanfic.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
Hold on. Let's see. No, it's fine. Anyway. Moika, did you have any thoughts about the art? I can't remember.
I think you guys like pretty much nailed it. It was like really cute, and I mean the art, like the coloring was really nice too. It like again, it kind of reminded a few of the designs at times reminded me of the like cooking with the Emiya, or on like today's menu with the Emiya family or whatever. Like the designs kind of reminded me of that guy, because when the main guy was introduced, I was like, oh, that kind of looked design wise, it like reminds me of Shiro from that series.
Yeah.
So I just such a weird, like my brain just connects it to that for whatever reason. I like both of them. I like all three of those. So
awesome.
Good job.
I can confirm that the artist has indeed done hentai.
Okay.
Oh,
pretty much anytime you read something or watch something and you're like, this person should have just done porn, they probably already did.
Yeah. Does anyone else
Look at you, Food Wars. Anyways, keep going.
High School of the Dead?
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to touch on with Dear Sir Hannibal? Should we give our
I think
rating?
you nailed it in that. I wish they would do like a serialization of it, just flesh out the world a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely read it.
Yeah, I think I'd give it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. I thought the characters were cute. Yeah, and it was like a kink manga without A, creeping us out, and B, being actual porn.
Mm-hmm.
So like, thanks for that.
Yeah. I agree. I think I'd give it the same score. I really liked it. I loved the characters. I liked their relationship and just the way everything was portrayed in a healthy way when it's something that you would go in not expecting it to be done that way.
Right.
So yeah, it was the weirdest, most wholesome thing I've ever read. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
My husband also feels very strongly about Dear Sir Hannibal.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It had a good story, great art. I would like to know more about the world, like things that have already been said. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like I really don't have any critiques, but it's also not the type of story that I go out of my way to read. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a 7.5 out of 10, no, 7.5. It's a fair score.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went in thinking that it was just gonna be like the super trashy like one shot and I wasn't gonna like it. But I mean, expectations were like, I don't know. I ended up liking it a lot, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Just did things I didn't expect and I liked it. So
Awesome. Cool. So let's do order it. Let's order them.
Oh, like best to worst.
Best to worst, yeah.
I think my order would be Giant Spider and Me, Dear Sir Hannibal, Science vs. Magic, and then Miam Miam.
That's mine too.
Same.
yeah, same.
Great.
Good. That was easy. Awesome. There you go, guys. Super easy. Yeah. So that wraps up our discussion for MangaPodluck this year. Yay! Thank you guys so much for joining us. Lou, do you mind reading the description for the manga that we're reading? Not next week, but the week after.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah. So we are going to be taking next week off, but we will be back the week after that. And Lou is going to read the description of the manga. You guys in chat get to guess what it is.
Oh, I was not prepared for this. So just give me 1
Sorry.
second.
Lou, yes or no?
Yes or no?
Wait, I'm almost there.
I thought you had it pulled up earlier.
I had it pulled up. I think the tab closed.
Oh,
well, I was like looking up potential like porn from the artist that they which is like immediately like 3 seconds. I'm like, oh shit, there it is.
There it is.
All right. I'm ready with the thing, not the porn. I mean the description.
Oh,
hit it.
Okay.
All right. Blank is an ex blank who's given up violence for making an honest man of himself. But is it still possible for a devoted blank to get into a few scrapes? There we go.
Not even Lou knows.
I have no idea at all. There was a question mark there, which is why I had that type of inflection.
Oh, somebody got it. Enganya? The Yakuza house husband.
I love this manga, and I'm sad I won't be there to read it with you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and already give my yes, I recommend it.
Yay!
So go watch MangaPod in 2 weeks and watch them discuss it because it's great.
It's so I have heard amazing things about this one. So I'm excited to go ahead and read that. So we'll be reading chapters 1 through 32 of that in 2 weeks. Let's go around and shout out our stuff super duper fast. I am Aaron of Happily Aaron. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Happily Aaron. Previous manga pods are hosted there, as well as anime reviews, first impressions, things that I've done in the past. It hasn't been super active because I'm currently working on a book. I'm in the 3rd rewrite of that. I've been posting things on Twitter and Instagram, so if you want to come and check, follow me on there. I post updates about it, and I'm Happily Aaron all across the everything.
Hi guys, I'm Dodger. You can find me at Dex Bonus on pretty much everything. I might not be on MangaPod for a few weeks here because I'm going to be moving, but I will rejoin as soon as I can. And in the meantime, I hope that you guys will continue to watch them because they're lovely and they deserve your eyeballs.
You're the best.
No,
Yeah.
you. No, you.
No, you the best.
No,
Yes
you're
or no?
breathtaking. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Not no. Yes. My name's Lou. And like I said at the beginning, I don't do things on the internet very often, but I'm MangaPod, and that's like what matters most.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like follow me on Twitter at LuTalksAnime, and that's my stuff.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Moika, your new permanent host.
Yay!
I'm basically on everything. I'm at Mega Moika, so you can find me on there on Twitter. I stream on Twitch. Recently did a cosplay, so if you'd like to check out my Aerith cosplay, I'd appreciate it. Maybe give it a like or retweet. That'd be cool. I think that's it for now.
Awesome.
It's a real good cosplay. I was a big fan. A+.
Oh,
It
would be
thank
good.
is
you.
good.
Oh,
Awesome.
Oh.
nervous.
Huh?
Huh?
Oh, I'm like always so nervous with cosplay stuff.
Aw.
You did great.
It was
You did great, so.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that wraps up our MangaPodluck 2019. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want more MangaPod, we have a subreddit, reddit.com/r/MangaPod. We also have a Twitter, twitter.com/MangaPod. Go ahead and follow us over on that. Moika, our previous social media master, monitor, media person.
Social media manager was the
there
M
it
word.
is. There it is. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, she was initially a new media consultant, and then we
Yeah.
brought her on board officially as a social media manager,
Yeah.
and now she's a
Wow,
full-fledged host.
you've progressed so much in just a
quick.
couple.
So quick, guys. All the
Incredible.
promotions. I'm just speed running them.
So thank you all so much for watching. We'll be here same time, same place 2 weeks from now reading the Goku Fushiro Yakuza Husband manga chapters 1 through 32. We will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.